welcome to the podcast series, Asian Civilization and Its Preservation. This is a collaborative program between Universitas Indonesia, Asian University Alliance, and University Malaya. In this podcast, we will explore different aspects of cultural advancement in different parts of Asian nations. My name is Widya Smaramurti, and I'm your host for this episode. In this episode, we will talk about how to expand and elaborate our own culture in our own country from time to time. As you know, culture is one of the most essential aspects in our civilization. Culture includes many aspects such as arts, music, literature, language, traditional rites, and our most modern innovation and technology. From ancient times to nowadays, culture is always doing its interesting information, okay, and also transformation. So I guess in this episode, we will explore our own culture as human beings. So let's try to understand and see the cultural journey. Since we have 4 guests for today, before, please introduce yourself, name, come from which university, and then we can continue about talking about cultural advancement in your own country. Please, from my left side, my left side is supposed to be Joe. Please, Joe.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Zhou Keyu. I'm from Peking University, Beijing, China. Okay.
Oh, China. Ni hao.
Ni hao.
And then next to Joe, we have Shanas.
Yeah. Hi. Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Shanas from University of Malaya, Malaysia.
Waalaikumsalam, Shanas. And then we have Kyungwon.
Hello. 안녕하세요. My name is Kyungwon from Seoul National University of Korea. Nice to meet you.
안녕하세요, Kyungwon.
안녕하세요.
And the last one we have Alex.
Sawadee krap tukon. My name is Alex from Chulalongkorn University.
Sawadee krap. So Indonesia has law number 5, year 2007 on cultural advancement. And that law, Indonesian government supports 10 objects of cultural advancements. For example, like manuscripts, oral traditions, and then language, arts. Also, we have customs, rights, traditional sports, traditional knowledge, traditional technology, as well as traditional games. I want to ask Alex, since Thailand is not far from Indonesia, do you know that we have similarity in language?
Yes.
Can you explain about it?
For example, in Bahasa Malaysia, Bahasa Indonesia, the word Bahasa actually denotes language. But in Thai, there's something, it has a softer tone, and perhaps even in Burmese, it's called Pasa. It also means language. Yeah, so there's one similarity in terms of language.
So it is very similar between Bahasa and Pasa. But also in Malaysia, yeah? Because Malaysia is also a Malay language, where also the root of Indonesian. Probably we have similarities. Can you explain, Shanas?
Yeah, like I think Malaysia and Indonesia have very similar language. I mean, maybe we're maybe a bit different in terms of pronunciation only. Yeah, just maybe university and universitas lah. Like in Malaysia we pronounce it as university, but here in Indonesia you pronounce it as universitas. But yeah, it's almost the same, the pronunciation. Yeah.
So beside pronunciation, we also have similarities between the lexicon, right? For example, like salam.
Salam, yeah.
Selamat.
Yeah, selamat also. Yeah, selamat pagi, selamat sore, selamat petang. Yeah.
Okay, so when Malay and Thailand is very close to one another in case of language, what about, probably it's different in the case of China and Korea to the Malay language, but what about between Korea and China? What is the similarity in language? Probably, who wants to explain first? Joe or Kyungwon?
The language between Korea and China?
Yeah.
As far as I know, some pronunciation in Korean language and China language is a little bit similar. and some words when we write them, the way we write them is a little bit similar too, just from these two parts. Yeah.
And in ancient times, as some of other Asian countries, Korea used ancient Chinese too. So we have some words from ancient Chinese a lot. So, for example, like there are like a lot of words from ancient Chinese in Korea. There are very many, so I cannot think of a specific example. But even 학교, 대학교, that means university. That's 大学. I know it sounds like different, but like ancient Chinese, it was quite similar with Korean.
Okay, so basically, we can say that the Chinese has the older roots than the Korean language, because you said that. Yes, Joe?
Actually,
yeah.
so
Alex,
it's quite
sorry.
interesting because China is not really homogeneous. It's a very big country. So there are many dialects that predates Mandarin, which is widely spoken today. Mandarin is a language that you speak in China, everybody understands. But there are some languages in the past that existed in China that has influenced Vietnam, basically East Asia, Vietnam, Japan, and even Korea. So one word in Hokkien means sekai. Sekai is also used in Korean and also used in Japanese, and it means the same meaning, which is the world, 世界. But the root word is actually from something older than Mandarin, which is Hokkien. Yeah, and Hokkien has more tones than Mandarin, so as Cantonese has more tones than Mandarin. Even I'm Hakka, right? So Hakka has also more tones than Mandarin, but Mandarin was introduced much later to unify China and create a common language.
Yeah, because in Thailand and China, both are tone languages, right? Yes, okay. Thank you for the explanation, Alex. So, in Indonesia, the language in part of cultural advancement is to support like the ethnic language, since Indonesia has hundreds of ethnic language. It is also the case in your country.
Yes, so Thai is a subgroup, but it's also Thainess is also a national identity. At the south of Thailand, Patani, Yala, and Narathiwat, there are Thai Malays who are Thais in citizenship, but they practice similar culture to the provinces of Malaysia, such as Kelantan, Kedah, and Perlis. There's also the Mons which are similar to the Khmer. The Khmers are from like present-day Cambodia, and they speak a similar language. The Thai language actually was denoted by the king Ram Kam Heng, who actually borrowed from the Cambodian language. The Thai people migrated south. Last time in China, there was a kingdom called the Nanzhao Kingdom, and they came from this present-day Stali or Sisuang Panna. Sisuang Panna is a Chinese word, but in Thai it's called Sisuang Panna, which means like 18 plantation. And then these people came down. They were practicing animism, and then later they adopted Buddhism and accepted Brahmanism from Indian civilization.
Yeah, if like I may add, like I found it interesting because like someone from Chulalongkorn University, Amir, like he knows like Kelantan. Kelantan is like a dialect in Malaysia. Yeah. So I found it like very interesting. Like he can like kecek Kelantan. Yeah.
So, what about in China, Joe? What about the language advancements that is supported by the government?
I think the most significant plan is during our childhood we'll have the opportunity to get close to our tongue language, and but when we enter the high school, university, we'll learn more Mandarin, and at that time we will get close to the tradition and the modernity at the same time. Yeah.
Okay. What about in Korea, Kyungwon? Thank you, Joe.
Well, you mean like government?
Yeah. What about the language advancements that is supported by the government in Korea?
Like, not really much. Like, I think Korean government does not want to imply a lot of regulations on Korean usage, but like there are a lot of foreign words that's imported, and we try to keep translated into like pure Koreans. We tried it, but like I think a lot of Koreans now find it useless because it is just a natural change to import many words and be transcultural. So like I think now we use it rather freely.
Okay, but I think in this, in my opinion, Korean is succeed in doing the language advancement. In fact, globally through K-pop or K-drama, because now we can see that everyone around the globe try at least want to know Korean language.
So popular.
Okay, it's a part of the arts as well, because Korean not only introduced the language but also its arts. Okay, so what do you think about it? Who wants to answer first? Shanas?
Yeah, but like in Malaysia, K-pop like has like a very big influence. Like nowadays, you can see like many Korean shops, Korean restaurants in Malaysia, and also I think like most of the Malaysians know how to speak like basic Korean language. Yeah, like I also know like 안녕하세요, 저는 찬양입니다.
Wow,
Okay.
okay.
Like very basic knowledge. Like I think like my 5 other University of Malaya students also know like very basic Korean language. Yeah.
So the arts advancement not only for the people locally or like say nationally in Korea, but also the aims is to introduce Korea worldwide. Okay, including the arts. What about in your opinion about it? Alex?
Actually, I think around December, the minister in Thailand actually decided on a similar model to promote Thai culture, which is that they want to promote Thailand as a destination, which was very successful because now Bangkok is the first most visited place for like I think 3 or 4 years in a row, after even very popular places like London and Paris, and like the Thai soft power is very very strong, just like Korea, but maybe in a different aspect, because Thailand, when you say the word Thailand, you immediately think of Pad Thai, you think of the Y, and you say think of words like Sawadee Krap, but actually these things are actually invented during the Japanese era, which was not really imbued in the Thai culture, but this is a success of like maybe like 70 years, which has continued, and this is a example of a Thai ingenuity, that the Thai kingdom was not fully colonized by the European powers, because they were able to invent themselves and modernize in their own ways.
So I think we can say that arts cannot be separated from the creativity in order to be known worldwide. Okay, so the creativity like from K-pop, K-drama, and even I think that Thailand is famous for its horror movies.
Oh yes.
Yes, I think the genre is very famous worldwide, right? Okay, what do you think, Joe, about it?
I want to tell something and talk about something about the cultural spread. Among my friends, many of my friends like K-pop. They will like dance like wagging, locking, and popping. And this I regard it as a cultural exchange, because when this kind of a dance enter China, it has some how to say some local feature.
So beside arts, creativity, we also talk about technology and globalization. So in your opinion, what is the importance of technology in order to support cultural advancement? Who wants to answer first? Okay, Shahnaz.
Wait, for me, because like with the help of technology, especially social media, does it count as a technology? Yes, it is. Yeah, with the existence of social media, I guess it's like a very helpful platform, I would say, to spread the cultures, because you can see like how we can like follow basically anyone. Like I just followed Alex and Kyungwon and like everyone basically on Instagram, just like that, like someone from Korea, someone from Japan, someone from China. So yeah, I think like social media especially helps a lot, like in terms of the exchange of maybe like language, the fashion sense in terms. Yep.
Social media, yeah, I also agree. Like Instagram, or probably we cannot see like Twitter, because it's more like only like sharp information, like tweet. But then from Instagram, I think it's also part. No, we have also TikTok, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's also part where we can expand or introduce our culture worldwide.
So
what do you think about it, Joe?
Okay. In China, many museums use AI or
Okay, yeah.
or some computer technology to better keep the literature and some books. That I think is a different way to make them live a longer time. Yeah, that's I think the greatest use of technology. Yeah.
Yeah, I think AI is important because it can preserve the
Yeah.
like ancient or all this information from past to present time.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think, Kyungwon?
Oh yeah, I agree with what Shana and Joe said, and I also want to add that like AIs and current technology is also helping how to analyze and develop culture. So, for example, making K-dramas or movies, we use a lot of technologies and like make graphics and analyze what people like. So it also helps with like current ways and for the future also, like, yeah.
I think in terms of like the industry, yeah, for like the entertainment industry in Korea, I think even technology is important because somehow, for example, if you want to introduce a new K-drama, even the drama is not on air yet, but its promotion is already everywhere, so people already know about it before the K-drama is already online or launched. So, what do you think about it?
Definitely, I echo what my colleague has shared. Definitely, when you connect with each other, the world has become smaller. Information spreads faster, so this helps in disseminating things faster. Like immediately, I will know what K-pop movie is up. The next minute, my friend will share, and then I'll be curious, and I'll know what try to get in because humans are very social. We want to know more. What is the in thing for us and culture? And the example you shared on China, definitely, because recently I went to China. I went to
wow.
Nanjing and Changsha, and China is a leader. They have the capacity and the vision to build like very avant-garde museums. And really, I was using AI. I was playing an amazing race amongst trying to find clues in the museum. And China history is not easy to reach out to the masses because it's 5,000 years. So with AI and all this, it's made into digestible size so that a normal public person or common person like me would be able to understand.
Okay, so now about the identity and cultural heritage. Can you probably explain about your cultural heritage that can be said as the identity of your country? Joe?
In my country, I think the Yellow River is one of the greatest cultural symbol, because it, first of all, it's our mother river. And then there are many stories, literature behind it. In the past few years, our country has taken many measures to preserve it and build many theme parks and museums and call on many scholars to refine its story and let us see it and understand it. I think is one of the greatest actions. Yeah.
Okay, so Yellow River is the identity that you can say it represents China.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Joe. What about Malaysia, Shanes?
I think everyone knows Kuala Lumpur, like the Petronas Twin Tower. I would say, I think, and then like in Malacca, Malacca is like a very historical city. So like there's a lot of buildings, like old buildings, I would say. Like the cultural heritage, and we also have some in Terengganu, also Penang. So basically, Malaysia has like a lot of cultural heritage.
Yeah, but I think for the Kuala Lumpur is the modern one,
it's
right?
It's quite modern.
Like Malacca, and then Penang is more the ancient ones.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Shanas. What about Korea, Kyungwon?
There are many cultural heritages in Korea, such as like hanbok or hanok clothes or houses. But I want to mention about intangible things, such as like Koreans love to decorate things and like make it beautiful. So like we decorated our clothes a lot, and even in modern times in COVID, we tried to decorate our masks and mask straps, and that was kind of funny meme in Korea that we like to just decorate everything. So I think it helped us to export cosmetics. So like, the intangible assets from ancient times are like also like continued and like helping us, I think so. And there's a word in Korean named hung, and it means like excitement, enjoyment, and we like enjoy to be excited and sing and dance, and I think that helped us with K-pop.
Okay, so basically K-pop is come from a long history of cultural heritage, not only about just dance, but also the language, and also I think some parts of the commercials in fact supported the cosmetics industry in Korea that already existed nowadays.
Yeah.
What about in Thailand?
In Thailand, there are many things, but I would like to give one tangible and one intangible.
Tangible?
One tangible thing is I think I personally like would be the mural painting in the temple, because it's something very original. The Thais are so creative. They even put Europeans into the painting and depicting very traditional things like Ramayana, but they put the Farang, which is the Farang means foreigners, as with the demons, so they are fighting against the demons and also the Westerners. And you can find this in some of the temples, especially in Wat Prakyao. Wat Prakyao is the golden, the Grand Palace in Bangkok. The Grand Palace built during the Ratanakosin period by the current king. And I think one intangible thing that I like to a common and day-to-day Thai is the concept of sabai, take it easy, or like mai pen rai is okay, when you spill something on someone, mai pen rai is okay. When you knock someone, it's okay on the bike, So the Thais really are obsessed with this. The relaxedness of their culture, mainly because of Buddhist principles and many other local customs.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Alex. So, for example, like Indonesia, we have like batik, which is already acknowledged by the UNESCO as one of intangible cultural heritage from Indonesia. And beside batik, we also have traditional technology for some kind of like the copper culture, where in the slope of Merapi Merbabu, we have like a area named Tumang. Basically, in the era of Majapahit, they already know how to make like crafts, like the jewelries from copper. It's also part of ancient technology and can be a part of Javanese identity, but hopefully it will be Indonesian identity in the future. So now we talk about contemporary innovation based or come from ancient knowledge. Okay, what will be the contemporary innovation that exists today that you know? Let's say in Korea, cosmetics is one of them. But
Sorry, I think I missed your question.
so what will be the cultural heritage or cultural knowledge, or like say traditional knowledge that support the contemporary innovation nowadays?
Contemporary innovation notice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like something reinvented, right? Tradition reinvented to something that's
Yes, yeah, you reinvented. Okay. The traditional knowledge that you reinvented become a present or contemporary technology nowadays.
Technology, it must be technology.
Innovation is also, not only technology, innovation. For example, previously we have, what's that? I do not know, like a carriage by horse, but now in Javanese we call it dokar or andong. But because Javanese people tend to go anywhere by groups using families, and then when the motorcycle industry came to Indonesia, they noticed, Indonesian people like to go everywhere by groups. So instead of providing like small car, they try to invent bigger car or bigger size car, like a family car, because Indonesian people probably like to buy family car instead of sport car, because their culture is go anywhere in a big group with family. So where the industry knows the culture, they can, I do not know, probably the innovation can attract the people in that area? For example, like that. Do you have any other culture that in your country that probably similar like that?
I have something intangible, but I don't know whether it fits exactly into your definition. But Thai people, they like to Y, right? As I said before. But this is something that has not existed until the time of Air Marshal Pibun Songkram, Plek Pibun Songkram. So that time,
Can you get Blake?
Plek Pibun Songkram. There was one. He was the longest serving prime minister of Thailand. The second one is Prayut Chan-o-cha. The first one is this guy. Okay, but he served for really, really long. So there was a period where the Chinese started also adopting Thai names. They become Thaified, and they're very proud to be Thai. Some Chinese are more proud to be Thai than the Thai themselves. So this Y was only done in the temple to the monks. But then last time Thai people would just greet each other by as any Asian would do, because there was famine and all that. Or have you kin kao mai, have you eaten? Or like pai nai, where you go? These two things. And then he said, no, this is very scruffy, you know, it doesn't look good. So let's do the Sawadee krap and the Y thing. So but today, you know, the Thais, they invented this, and then they're so into it. When they see another Thai, they Y and then all that. And they have this culture of like seniority, so they do that. Yeah, so that is something that is very unique in Thai culture, that's invented, that has not existed for a long time, only recently. But the Thai locals do not know about this. They do not know about this, that it was introduced. That was the same time when Pad Thai was introduced, because Pad Thai, the noodles, is a Chinese thing. And it was introduced so that, you know, they needed a national dish, they needed something to represent Thainess. So Thainess is very complicated subject. Thai society is very, very complicated. Yeah.
Wow, from culture to customs and culinary. Nice. What about in China and Malaysia?
In China, our clothes in the Asian dynasty have many deep cultural meanings, such as we should be polite, we should respect the old. But when we enter these clothes seems that it can't adapt to the adapt to the time, adapt to the development of our society. But nowadays, our clothing will use some character of the old clothes. They call it Hanfu, and we create the new type of clothes, such as 马面裙. We will wear in when we go to the street, when we meet with friends, when we go to eat out. I think this is greatest innovation to our in our country's culture. Yeah.
Wow. So now the innovation is in the form of fashion, yeah.
Yeah.
So it is unique, I think. What about in Malaysia, Shanas? Thank you, Joe.
I don't know if this answers your questions, but yeah, in Malaysia, like we used to live in like wood house, you know, like a house made with wood, but nowadays people make decorations out of wood instead of like living in the wood house. Yeah, and then like maybe I would talk like a bit in terms of fashion, like back in the days, like there's not so many people wearing, like you cannot see like so many people wear like baju kurung or something like that, like maybe kain pelikat and all. But nowadays, I think like I don't know, like maybe because of the modern times or what, but the old fashion is back. Like you can see now, like everyone wearing like baju kurung or maybe like kain batik, or we call it kain pelikat, everywhere. So yeah, I guess that's my answer.
But I think the contemporary innovation in the form of fashion like baju kurung is also the influence not only from culture, but I think because now mostly Malaysian people have Islamic religion. So is it true that
yeah, Malaysia is an Islamic country.
So the baju kurung comes because most of the people are now turned into Muslim.
Yeah.
It's more like a polite clothes. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. What about in Korea?
In Korea, talking about intangible things, we are really like obsessive to doing it fast and quick and like efficiently. So about the current innovation, after the COVID-19, we know like everything worked on Zoom and we did remote working, and I think it like fit really well with that Korean thinking of doing it fast and efficiently. So like a lot of workers are now like working remotely and and also the internet speed is quite quick because people want it fast. Yeah, so I think that also helped us with that
The
innovation.
is the development of technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we know that Korea is one of the 10 countries with very quick speed in internet and so on. Okay, thank you, Kyungwon. But I think I noticed that probably in China, the contemporary innovation is also in the form of film. I think in the form of film, like like say like China's drama, the historical ones. It's still it still has some kind of like very segmented audiences, I think.
Audience.
What do you think about it, Joe?
Audience.
Yeah, the China's in the form of film. The innovation comes from technology, but the story, the story is still using like the historical or the old story, but it is used like probably the present. I don't know, probably present culture or present demand of the audience.
In China, when we talk about films, these years, two kind of films in China is most popular. The first kind is it uses the modern structure, film structure, and then tells the traditional story. The second part is we tell something about our country's development and our society's improvement. I think these two kinds of film will be most popular. And speaking of the culture, these two kind of films will put more emphasis on its our culture, because as we all know, China has 5,000 years of culture and history, and they will always mention them in their films to show our identity and our culture's power. Okay, and at the same time, they will try to use some 3D, 3D, yeah. I don't know this how to spell 3D and some AI technology to give us a more excellent and marvelous view. Okay.
So this is good. I think that the technology still adopts what the ancient, historical, like in the form of story, but it is made or produced with using the recent technology.
It combines tradition and modernity.
Yeah, it combines both.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, probably this is the last questions. Okay. What do you think about the challenges of your culture? I mean, what will be the challenges in supporting your cultural advancement in your own culture?
Money.
Money. Okay. What else? Money. Okay. But government probably think that if you want to preserve a culture, you need more money. But actually, the culture itself can be a tool to attract money. Yeah, it's true. Because, for example, if you know that let's say, small and medium enterprises, usually they tend to produce something related to cultures. And the money that comes from those low and medium enterprises, usually not only small, but a lot. And it is important for the government, the money. So somehow can you believe that actually the culture can use its own, its own capability to attract money? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I will give like a Southeast Asian example to answer your question. Singapore, where I come from, there is hawkers, right?
Wait.
No, I'm Thai, but I studied in Thailand, but I'm Singaporean. Wait.
You said that you're Thai.
Okay. No, I said I was from Chulalongkorn. Okay, wait. So, okay, because I'm going to relate to a Southeast Asia question, right? So, I lived in Singapore, okay? So, in Singapore, we have hawkers, right? Hawker is considered under UNESCO intangible heritage and is recognized. So, but these street food hawkers, all these, right? These people are underpaid. Money is very important. They are doing long hours. They're getting pittance for their work. And then once the older generation they retire, the young ones will not take over all these things. And then slowly you have a dying culture. And then in Thailand, there is this thing in a performance setting. There is con dance, which is recognized as a tangible heritage. Con dance, the mass dance, which is also similar to Indonesia. They have it on the story of Ramayana and all this. Wayang Kulit, okay? So in Thailand, they have this thing called the con mask. You wear the con mask and you dance, physically dance on the theatre. And all these things, you need patronage support, right? Whether it's through private funders or people actually buying the tickets. So you need people to pay to go to all these things. So money is a factor. The other way you can do it in Korea, as I know, in Sadong there is all these traditional dance. There are some people they're just there. You see one guy at in a traditional maybe Korean performance, but he's sleeping there, you know. But how is this possible that this guy, he's not interested but he's there, but someone is paying for this performance? Because the state funds it, right? The state has to fund it either through the state or through the private funder or the individual.
Yeah,
so at some point, money need to come from all points. So these are the biggest challenges for any cultural heritage.
That's true.
The only one way I see is probably through the state, right? They warrant a budget from the government expenditure to support this fund because it represents maybe in Sadong the Korean culture, right? So the states has to pay for it, or people have to. I mean, eventually the state budget is also the people's money. So I'm saying money is very important. Money is everything. In Chinese, we have this saying, 钱不是万能，可是没有钱万万不能. If you have money is not everything, but if you have no money, you have nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, true.
Okay, so basically, we also, I mean, the culture needs to be supported by the government. Okay, so as you already mentioned, also the government money comes from the citizens' tax and so on. So
Yes.
yeah. So I think what is your recommendation for the government in order to support cultural advancement?
Maybe my colleague can answer.
Okay, Shanas or Joe and Kyungwan? Okay. Who wants to answer? Kyungwan. So what is your recommendation for the government to support the cultural advancement?
Oh, government?
No, if not government, it's okay. What is your recommendation? Simple. What is your recommendation?
This is quite tough to answer. May I have some time to think about it?
Okay. Yeah, Shanas, please.
So, like in my opinion, I think education and preservation is very important. So I think like maybe everyone should like play part in like educating the youth more, because I think it is like very important to preserve like culture, like whatever it is, like arts, languages, like maybe music, films, like you said. Yeah. So I think we need to like enhance, like empower education. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that we need to support the government by encouraging the youth to be more to love their culture more and to acknowledge their culture and do not, let's say, do not adopt the foreign culture easily, I think.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. What about your opinion, Joe?
From my perspective, environment protection matters because just as I say, the Yellow River in the past time is very dirty, many pollutions in it. But in these years, our government take measures to clean it and plant trees along it, and so its environment around it being better and better. And same time, some disasters happens less and less. So we have more opportunities to appreciate it and know its culture behind it. Yes.
Okay, so we should know the reason first before we can have a good, let's say, recommendation. Okay, thank you.
I mean, like, if I may add, like, because like how easy it is nowadays, like to exchange culture and all. So I think like I think acculturation or like maybe assimilation is okay to some extent, but yeah, I think like education is really important so that people nowadays like I mean maybe they can assimilate, but to some extent, you know, like do not forget your own roots, lah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because now the colonization not in the form of like a former war, but in the form of technology and knowledge and so on, right? Okay, what about you, Kyungwon?
Yeah, about what Shanaz has mentioned, I want to add a point because in Korea it is currently a serious problem, the aging problem, and I want to add that not only for education for youth, education for middle-aged people. I mean, re-education is quietly a big issue for Korea today. So I think it is very important to fund for re-educations for like middle-aged or like over 60s to like get back into society well. I mean, and like most of cultures today we enjoy are like mostly focused on 10s to 30s, and like but I mean like people are aging. Like I think like most of Asian countries are like suffering with aging problems, but like there are not many culture and facilities for people over 50s to enjoy. So I think that must be also supported by someone.
Okay, thank you for your answer, Kyungwon. The last one?
Sorry, what is your question?
Okay. Alex, the question is, what is your recommendation to support cultural advancement?
I think like honestly from a macro point of view, the government, the ministry, or the state boards, people doing the execution of the cultural plan, they must have a long-term plan. Maybe every 5 years they have this plan. They want to promote what they want to promote, and how they're going to do it, right? And then eventually this thing will lapse together and it will flow. Without a very great planning system, there will be not. People will not have this awareness of soft power, right? If you know, like Hallyu Wave, it took a while. Beginning, nobody knows what even kimchi is, but 10 years later, wow, okay, we know who is Lisa. Oh, Lisa from Thailand, you know. But she was from the northeast, she hails from the northeast, and now she's doing so well in one of the with Blackpink, right? So even me, I know Lisa, right? So like it's quite amazing how things can change with planning, right? And this I don't know whether it's called Chebo, right? But like the YG Entertainment, SM Entertainment, they really have good like planning, and they know like the speed to create like a new K-pop MV so that people will be enticed and hop on to the wave. And here, the Hallyu Wave has been going on for very long, you know. Even in Thailand, there's a lot of fans and all that. Yeah, but I think Thailand is also going along that route in the grand scheme of things, lah. But there's still all this bureaucracy and turmoil politically in Thailand. So there will be some drawbacks and in terms of long-term plan. But definitely recommendation, have a vision, you know, and work towards it every 5 years, and then you reassess.
Like in Malaysia, I think it's very crucial for the like government to like do something, you know, like educate the youth and all, because we have like so many ethnicities, like we have Indian, Chinese, Malays, and also like other ethnics like Bajau, Kadazan, and all in the Sabah and Sarawak. So I think it's very important to let the youth, or maybe like all people know, like we have like this culture and this culture. So it is important to let them know, like, and to actually like preserve the culture, because in Malaysia I think like there are like a lot of cultures to preserve and maybe revive even. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Janice, thank you, Joe, thank you, Alex, and thank you, Kyungwon. So we have listened to the guest presentation about how cultures develop and influence one another from ancient civilization to modern world, as already explained by our guest, that it's some kind of like a pentahelix between the government, the community, okay, and also the media and also academics, where all needs to be connect one another. And as Alex already mentioned, that it needs to be work in the short-term agenda and also the long-term agenda, and where everyone needs to support one another, or this part of the pentahelix needs to support one another, we can understand that the complexities to support our cultural advancement. My name is Widya Smaramurti. I'm signing off and see you next time. Thank you.